Welcome to 5 and 5 from the One Stop Co-op Shop, where I discuss 5 key elements of a game in about 5 minutes. I'm Michael Kelly, and today I'm looking at one of my favorite escape room series, the Unlock series. And disclaimer that I was sent review copies of 6 recent shorter Unlock sets, but I've bought almost every Unlock set before that on my own. I like escape room games and puzzle games. Where does Unlock rank among the others, and how are these newest sets? Let's find out and get to the list. So for my number 5 point Unlock, which is a full pro for my taste, I'm looking at the machines, and I'm trying to show you one here. There we go, rotation. So yeah, they've really leveraged these in awesome ways in recent sets. You have mazes, you have reflex things, you have timing puzzles, you have like cool little AR effects where you're using the camera to look at things and interact with them. Just a ton of ingenuity here. And for my kids, this is like a huge toy factor that makes the game so much more fun. But even for me and adult players, they're still really cool. And again, later sets have taken these into much more amazing places with these sort of machines and elements and AR and all that. My number 4 point, also a full pro for my taste, is the hint system. And this has a really solid one. They give you hints in stages. This is not a good example because this one only has 2, but usually they'll have at least 2 or 3 steps along the hint to sort of lead you there partially without giving it all away. It's all handled within the app. It's very smooth. It even keeps track of which hints you've already seen so you can review them without having to use up more time. And for someone like me who, especially when I'm playing with my family, doesn't want to get like stuck on one clue and feel like it's impossible for us to progress, I appreciate a solid hint system, and this is one of the best I've seen. My number 3 point, which I guess is also a pro for me, again, this is one of my favorite escape room series in general, is the blue and red cards. So how this works is when you have a red card and a blue card, the little puzzle pieces can go together, and you add up their number, like in this case 12 plus 23 would be 35. And if you look through the deck and you find a 35, you get to reveal it and you see what happens. You know, do I want to hit the skeleton with a sword? Do I want to throw a bomb at them? Which one's going to work? What's going to happen? And what I love about this with my particular background is that this reminds me of the point and click adventure games of old where you would have an inventory of cards and you would try out different combinations to get them to work. It's never as obtuse as a lot of those games used to be, but I appreciate this. I think it does add to the theme and kind of like obvious combos of the games. And I think it's a nice touch and a fun way to use the cards. Hey, no app here, just cards in general. But for my number 2, I'm switching to a mix, and this could be a pretty important one for some people, and that's kind of the release structure of the games. So they have a lot of different structures. Originally, the games were single packs, and then they went to this 3-pack system, and now these recent ones that they sent me, the only review copies I have, are like shorter adventures, like only 30 minutes, but it's only like a single pack of cards, but they're $10, and yeah, this is going to be very hit or miss for people. It can be a little hard to like figure out which ones you want to buy. There are so many in the series at this point. I played through almost every single one and loved almost all of them. So this is a mix, but mostly pro because I still think that they do a great job with the sets. But yeah, finding them all, figuring out which ones you want to buy, figuring out which ones are good and bad, it can all be a little frustrating. And then the big thing is these are one-offs. You play through them and you see what there is. Although I will honestly say the series has been around for so long at this point that I can play ones from like 5 or 6 years ago and forget what the solutions are. But the nice thing is there is generally no destruction in any of these. It's not like Exit or other ones. So I absolutely will buy them, pass them on to the next friend, buy it, pass it on to somebody else, buy them, sell a whole set of them to somebody else. So if you're willing or you have the availability in your area to trade or pass along or let family members try it out or sell them, then the one-off value should not be a big impediment at all. But it is something to be aware of for all these kind of games, and Unlock is no different. You play it, you're kind of done. You got an hour of enjoyment for $10. Is that a good or a bad deal for you? It depends on your situation and your preferences. But then my number 1 point, best thing for Unlock for me, full-on pro, are the puzzle designs. I think these are generally very clever puzzles. They're more straightforward than some other escape room things I've played, but the big thing is they also feel more narrative focused. They feel more thematic. This is not like, no offense to other series, I like a lot of them, but like the Exit series, I feel like, hey, here's another like math-based puzzle that somebody put together. And you'll kind of get that sometimes in Unlock, but with those blue-red cards, with the machine machines, with all the other stuff, with the music in the app, with the fun themes that they've picked. I always feel like I'm in a real story for these and on a real adventure, and that's a big boon compared to the more mathematical and like pure riddle based escape room experiences. So I appreciate that greatly. Best thing about Unlock for me. So overall, if you like escape room games, if you like puzzle games, if you like riddles, Unlock is, for my money, the best series out there. It is absolutely my favorite, as long as you don't mind the app integration, and I think it's incredibly well done and really varied and exciting. I think there is nothing like it, and it is certainly well worth your time to get into. And hey, because I got 6 new sets, let's do a little bonus to this review and talk about each of them. We played through them all at this point. The Secrets of the Octopus, pirate themed. I thought it was a lot of fun. It is the toughest one of these 6 new ones, and I did find myself stuck in more frustrating ways a few times. There were some leaps of logic that I didn't quite understand, but really fun machine stuff. Really great thematic story here. I think the way it goes is pretty cool, and I liked this one generally a lot. My family had fun with that. Do Aaron's Dungeon, pretty straightforward, but cool one with some dungeon crawling tropes. These are all a lot shorter, and this one felt pretty short, but I liked the puzzles here. It was thematic, it was fun. No necessarily complaints about this one, although it wasn't amazing. The Awakening of the Mummy, this one we thought was excellent. Really fun machines here, some exciting parts. It does have like a little bit of scary stuff for the littlest kids, but we had a blast with this one. Only thing I don't like is that the ending, well, I won't spoil much, but it feels a bit like a cliffhanger, which means it doesn't feel like much of an ending at all. That wasn't great, but the rest was awesome for this one. The Flight of the Angel, this one's about infiltrating the Doge's palace with like masks and intrigue. This one was pretty cool, had a lot of like movement around different areas, some really fun puzzles in this, and a pretty satisfying ending, I thought. Really fun machine near the end of this that my kids were just going gaga for. So I thought that one was excellent. In Pursuit of Capricorn, this one might be my favorite of the 6. We had a great time with this. Again, really fun puzzles. This one maybe had the most like consistent, interesting riddles and puzzles and thematic stuff going on. It felt like it had a good conclusion. Loved this one. And then follow up with my least favorite of the set. And this is funny because this is the one that I did a bonus play on Patreon of. And whoops, show the one that I like the least. Yeah, this one felt very repetitive. You were kind of following the same things multiple times. Although the cooking mechanic with the machines was a lot of fun. Very like cool, like little toy aspect there. But besides that, I found this one by far the most frustrating and the least interesting. So there you go, a little bonus. 6 short unlocks. If I had to rank them, worst, best, and good. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good gaming, and I'll see you at the next stop.